So in female reproductive system, as male are having primary and secondary ducts and glands, here also the female reproductive system constitute of paired ovaries and accessory ducts along with external genitalia. So a pair of ovaries along with accessory ducts and external genitalia makes up female reproductive system. Let us see one by one. And again, if it comes to accessory ducts, what are the types of accessory ducts present in male? Male, if you take from rete testis, vas efferentia, epididymis, vas differentia, ejaculatory duct, and urethra. So these are the accessory ducts which are present in male reproductive system. Here in female reproductive system, oviducts, that is fallopian tube, from both sides. So a pair of fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, vagina. So these are the parts which are acting as accessory ducts, and external genitalia in women is formed by mons pubis, vestibule, hymen, clitoris. So here female reproductive system consists of 2 ovaries with 2 fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, vagina, along with external genitalia. Yeah, see, let us discuss one by one. First, let us see about ovaries. So where these ovaries are located? In the abdominal cavity. And they are attached to the abdominal cavity because they cannot hang and they should not move also. So this ovaries, they are attached to the abdominal cavity by ligaments. Okay, and this ovary is also attached to the uterus. So this is uterus. This ovary is attached to the uterus also and backside to the abdominal wall. So it is attached with the abdominal wall by ligaments and to the uterus by mesoovarium. Okay, yeah. So again, these ovaries are considered as primary sex organs, as testes are considered as primary sex organs in male. So what is the role of these ovaries? They produce ova. Primary function of primary female sex organ ovaries is to produce ova. So which is considered as female gamete. And again, it produces ovarian hormones. That is, they are steroid in nature. They are derived from cholesterol. Again, so estrogen and progesterone are the 2 important hormones which are produced by the female reproductive system. So what is the dimensions of testis visa? What is the length and width? Yes, okay. So while learning both male and female, you have to compare and learn because they will give statements, that is options, they will give like confusing. Okay, so while I will ask questions today to compare both the systems. And again, each ovary is about, here if you take the length of the ovary is 2 to 4 centimeters. So this is ovary, and the length of the ovary is about 2 to 4 centimeters in length. Okay, and as I informed, they are located in the lower abdominal cavity and connected to the pelvic wall. Okay, pelvic wall and uterus by ligaments. So especially it is connected to the uterus by mesoovarium. And again, uterus and ovary, see here I have given mesoovarium. So please remember the dimensions of ovary, and ovaries are the primary sex organs in female, and the functions of ovary is to produce ova and ovarian hormones. So what are the major ovarian hormones produced by the ovary? Estrogen and progesterone. Yes. So again, if you take the structure of ovaries, each ovary is covered by a thin epithelium which encloses the ovarian stroma. So middle part of the ovary is called as ovarian stroma, and that is covered by cuboidal epithelium, that is germinal layer. Okay, so again, cuboidal epithelium, and again inside that cuboidal epithelium, it is composed of ovarian stroma. And if you take this internal part, again, it can be divided into two parts, outer cortex and inner medulla. Okay, so you just remember this membrane, this is a thin, it is made up of epithelial cells. Okay, outer covering is made up of epithelial cells. Okay, especially cuboidal epithelium, and inside part is called as stroma. And in that stroma, again, there are two different parts, outer cortex and inner medulla. Okay, and again, there are a group of cells, okay, which are called as, that is Graafian follicle. So this Graafian follicle is very much important, and that is developed from the primary follicle. So this Graafian follicle will be having the matured ova before releasing from the ovary. Okay, so each follicle carries centrally placed ova. See, this is called ova. Okay, so that is during gametogenesis, you'll be learning what is primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle, and what is corpus luteum. Everything you'll be learning in fertilization process, gametogenesis process. Okay, yeah, so that's all about ovary. And apart from that, yeah, so what you have to remember here, one more thing I'll give information about oophorectomy. What do you mean by oophorectomy? Because this is like removal of ovaries. So why we should remove ovaries? If any complications are there, removal of ovaries is called oophorectomy. Okay, so why we have to remove this ovaries means maybe cancerous growth is there, or else some other complications are there. We have to remove ovaries. Monaza, good morning. Yeah, Nandini, please. She is asking me to repeat. Let me repeat. Okay. See here, Monaza. Which one from first you are asking, dear? Monaza, from first I have to repeat. Yeah. Okay. See here. Today we are going to see about female reproductive system. In male, again, primary sex organ is testis. Here in female, a paired ovaries are considered as primary sex organs. And apart from that, accessory ducts and external genitalia are present in female reproductive system. The accessory ducts includes a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix, and vagina. And again, external genitalia comprises of mons pubis, vestibule, hymen, and clitoris. So let us see one by one. In female, we have a pair of ovaries on either side of the abdomen, okay, lower abdomen. So where it is located in the lower abdomen, and it is attached to the abdominal wall with the help of ligaments, okay. And what is the dimension of ovaries? 2 to 4 centimeter in length. So this is called ovary, and this is backside. It is attached to the abdominal cavity by ligaments, and it is attached to the uterus by the ligaments which are named as mesoovarium. And what is the role of this ovaries? To produce female gamete, that is ovum, egg, and production of ovarian hormones. So egg production and hormone production is the major role of ovaries. Yes. Yeah, so if you come to the structure of ovaries, again, it is having a covering, outer covering, which is made up of cuboidal epithelium, and this covering layer covers the inner part of the ovaries, which is called as ovarian stroma, or stroma you can mention. So that stroma, again, it consists of two parts. One is cortex and another one is medulla. So outer part is cortex, inner part is medulla. Okay, and it is having group of follicular cells. We will discuss about different types of follicles, why they are named so, everything during gametogenesis. And again, each follicle, what is the role of this follicle? It is having egg at the center. And what is oophorectomy? Removal of ovaries. Why should we remove ovaries? If there are any complications like cancer and other infections are there, due to that, if the condition exists to remove this ovaries, that term is called as oophorectomy. Yeah, So next, let us come to the accessory ducts. So what are the accessory ducts present in male? Anyone please answer my question? What are the male accessory ducts present?
Ready testis, vas efferentia, epididymis,
Yes.
vas deferentia,
Yes.
ejaculated ducts,
Later part?
urethra.
Urethra. Very good, Nandini. Very good. Yeah. So here, what are the ducts, accessory ducts present in the female reproductive system? Two oviducts, which are otherwise called as fallopian tube, and uterus, vagina. So these three parts, cervix comes under uterus, because in previous slide we have mentioned like uterus, cervix, and vagina. So cervix, again, it is a part of uterus. Lower part of the uterus is called as cervix. Let me explain. Yeah. First, oviduct. See, this yellow part is ovaries, and this is fallopian tube or oviduct. Okay, and that is having connectivity between uterus and ovaries. And here, this fallopian tube is also having different parts, and this uterus is also having different sections. Okay, like upper part, middle part, and lower part. And again, this ovary is attached with the, and again, uterus also attached with the abdominal wall with the help of ligaments. And the lowermost part of the female genitalia is vagina. Okay, yeah. See, what is the major feature of this fallopian tube? This fallopian tube is very much important, and again, it is responsible for fertilization, because after ovulation, after the release of egg from the ovary, the egg will come and wait in the fallopian tube to meet sperm. So how many days it will be waiting for sperm? Only 2 days. Only 2 days it will wait. Okay. So what is the length of this oviduct or fallopian tube? 10 to 12 centimeter long. And what are the parts of this fallopian tube? If you take, see this part, this funnel shape part that is here. This is called as infundibulum, and this is having funnel shape. Okay, and again at the edge it is having finger-like projections like this. That is called as fimbriae. That is called as fimbriae. Okay, yeah, and again, if you take that is the widest part of the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube is called as ampulla. So this part, middle part is called as ampulla. That is the wider part of the fallopian tube, where the fertilization happens. So question definitely you will get, this part is where the fertilization, that is fusion of male and female gametes, takes place in this ampulla. And that is generally, it is called as ampullary ischemic junction. Ampullary ischemic junction. Okay, so this is the spot where the fertilization is happening. Okay, and again after fertilization, here the latest part of the, that is the last part of the fallopian tube is isthmus, which is having opening to the uterus. Okay, so from this slide you can answer so many questions, and there is a possibility of getting questions also. They'll give this diagram. Please don't confuse. Okay, here I, you remember like that: infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. And infundibulum, it is having extensions of finger-like projections, which is called as fimbriae. Okay, and again isthmus, that is how the questions they will ask: which part of the fallopian tube is closer to the ovary? Tell me, which part of the fallopian tube is closer to the ovaries?
Infundibulum.
Infundibulum. And the fallopian tube is, which part of the fallopian tube is opened into the uterus?
Isthmus.
Isthmus. So in such a way questions will be asked, and what is the spot of fertilization? They will ask ampullary ischemic junction, or else if you have option Ampulla, you have to select ampulla. Got it? Do you have any doubt in this? Regarding fallopian tube, do you have any doubt? So here, parts is important, infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. So this is having connectivity with the uterus, okay? And infundibulum is having connectivity with the ovary. This you have to remember, okay? So see, infundibulum, funnel-shaped opening, and again ampulla, wider part, and narrow part is isthmus. So it joins the fallopian tube with the uterus. And what type of cells are present? This you have studied in structural organization in animals also. Okay, so what type of cells are present and what is the need for the presence of this type of cells there is very much important. Again, in so many question papers, you can see the question asked from this part. Okay, so see here, this oviduct, it is lined with ciliated epithelium. So what do you mean by ciliated epithelium? Ciliated columnar epithelium will be like this. Okay, see, they are having cilia like this. So what is the role of this cilia? Can you tell what is the role of this cilia?
Movement, ma'am.
Movement of what?
Over.
Movement of ovum, because see here, this is ovary, the egg is getting released in this part, infundibulum, and the egg should reach the fertilization zone. That is done. That is the movement of the ovum from this infundibulum region to ampulla. It is done with the help of that cilia, which is present at the, see here, cilia is present at the upper part of the columnar epithelium. Okay, see, and again, this is very much important in this dimension, that is length of the oviduct is very much important, and parts of the oviduct where the fertilization occurs, and what are the types of cells present in the lining of fallopian tube is with the ciliated epithelium. So these are the important points you have to remember regarding oviduct. Yeah. Next, let us come to the second accessory duct, that is uterus. Uterus is otherwise called as womb. This term you might have heard, but one more term is hystera. One more term is hystera. Okay, removal of uterus is otherwise called as hysterectomy. So hysterectomy means again a removal of uterus. So again, for the same reasons like cancerous growth or else some other complications, infections are there. If it should be removed, doctors will advise us to remove our uterus. So that is called as hysterectomy. Okay, oophorectomy is removal of ovaries and hysterectomy is removal of uterus, because this is the medical term for uterus, hystera. Okay, and again, here it is having three different parts. And what is the shape of uterus? It is inverted pear shape actually. So like this, okay, and again upper part will be broader, lower part will be narrower. Okay, and again it is having three different parts. Upper part is called as uterine fundus. This is the upper part. Okay, and again middle body, this is called as body of the uterus, and lower part is called as cervix. This is the lower part. Okay, so uterus is made up of three different parts: upper fundus, middle body, and lower cervix. Okay, and again it is also attached to the abdominal wall by ligaments. Okay, pelvic wall by the ligaments. And what is the connectivity? That is connectivity of uterus to the outer part of the female genitalia is done by vagina. So cervix is getting extended as vagina. Okay, so again this cervical canal, this is called as cervical canal. So the cervical canal and vagina together form birth canal. Together form birth canal. Question will be asked. Birth canal is formed by this cervical canal and vagina. Okay, because that is during parturition, during delivery of the baby is ejected out expelled out through this canal of cervix and vagina. So this is called as birth canal. Okay. Yeah. So next, again, this uterus, it is made up of 3 different layers. This is very much important. And again, even in question papers, you might have seen like which part of the uterus is responsible for menstrual flow. Okay, and which part of the uterus is responsible for, which layer of the uterus is responsible for parturition or delivery of the baby. So please listen. So this is the perimetrium. That is the external thin membrane which involves in the protection of uterus. So this is the perimetrium which involves in the protection function. Second is the middle myometrium, this yellow part. So this is called myometrium. So what is the role of this myometrium? And this is made up of smooth muscles. Again, please remember. So these smooth muscles are responsible for contraction. That is, the contraction of smooth muscles leads to delivery or parturition, you can say. During childbirth, contraction of these smooth muscles are necessary. So that is called as, that middle layer of uterus is called as myometrium, and innermost is called as endometrium. That is the third layer. So there are 3 layers, and what is the role of this endometrium? It is the innermost layer, and it is glandular and vascular in structure. What do you mean by vascular? It is having blood vessels. It is having blood vessels. Okay, see here, this is perimetrium and this is myometrium, and this part is endometrium. Okay, so here during menstruation, every month, if menstrual cycle is happening, this endometrium is degraded and expelled out as bleeding. Okay, and every month during the follicular phase, again it is getting regenerated. So for 28 days cycle, this endometrium is getting degenerated and regenerated. During follicular phase, it is regenerated, and during menstrual phase, it is degraded, degenerated. Got it? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Others? Yeah, Munaza? Got it now? What are the role of each and every layer present in the uterus? It is very much important. And myometrium is for parturition, endometrium is for menstrual flow, and again endometrium only, what is happening? Implantation is happening. If fertilization occurs here, the zygote will be moved, and implantation of the zygote embryo will be happening. Blastocyst stage, it moves and implanted in the endometrium layer. That also important. Okay. Yeah. So next accessory duct is vagina. Okay. So that is the outermost part. It opens to the exterior. And if you take cervix, it is having 2 openings. So this part is called as cervix. So this is called as, cervix is having 2 openings. That is internalis and externalis. So this internalis open into uterus and externalis open into vagina. Okay, and again vagina, it leads to the exterior between urethra and anus. And again, where it is existing between urethra and the exterior part. And this lumen of vagina, that is the sides walls of the vagina, this is vagina, the walls of the vagina, it is having glandular cells, and again Bartholin glands and Skene's gland. One more gland is Skene's gland. Okay, so what is the role of this Bartholin gland and Skene's gland? If you take these Skene's glands, again, it is similar to prostate gland. It is similar to prostate gland. What is the role of prostate gland in male? Tell me. What is
Produce
the role
seminal
of,
plasma,
yeah, how much percentage?
30%.
Yeah, again here, if you take this Bartholin's gland, this again major role is lubrication of penis during the intercourse. So there, if you take which male accessory gland is similar to Bartholin's gland, tell me.
Corpus gland.
Cowper's, very good. Bulbourethral or Cowper's gland. So question how they will ask, that is the similarity you should remember. Bartholin glands is similar to Cowper's gland. Both are involving in the lubrication function. And Skene's gland, again, it is homologous to prostate gland. Okay. And again, apart from that, yeah. So these are the points you have to remember where these glands are present on the walls of vagina. Okay, so again, the lumen of vagina is lined by glycogen-rich mucous membrane consisting of sensitive papillae and Bartholin glands. Apart from that, one more gland is there, Skene's gland, which is similar to prostate gland. Okay. Yeah. So next is again external genitalia. So if you take external genitalia, it consists of mons pubis, vestibule, hymen, clitoris. Okay, see here, that is again mons pubis. So this region is called mons pubis. So where the hairs are there, and again, next part is, if you take, this is called as labia majora. And again, the skin foldings which are present inside is called as labia minora. Okay, and again, that is clitoris is very much important. So clitoris is similar to penis. Okay, so that is vestibule, totally vestibule. If you take mons pubis, it is covered by pubic hair. If you take vestibule, a median channel, it includes labia majora, labia minora. So I told you labia majora will be having large, fleshy, fatty, and folds of skin. And again, labia minora, if you take, it is having small inner folds. So inside we are having skin foldings, and outside it is bigger in size when compared to the inner foldings. So those based on the size, they are named as labia majora and labia minora. Okay, and what is the role of this clitoris? And again, this is having some erectile function. Okay, clitoris, see here, it is highly sensitive organ, and this is homologous to penis. This is homologous to penis. And where it is located, clitoris is located just in front of the urethral opening. Above the, that is, yeah, in front of the urethral opening, you can say. And again, hymen, what do you mean by this hymen? And again, it is a membrane which is covering the outer covering of the vaginal opening. So usually, that is, there is a belief like this hymen will be broken only during the first coitus, first copulation, but it is not necessarily. That is, we cannot believe this myth, because even that is vigorous sports activities, or else even fast cycling, sudden fall or jolt, okay, and even vaginal tampon insertion. So everything may leads to the breakdown of this hymen. So usually people used to check the virginity of female by checking whether the hymen is present or not, but that we cannot rely on, because there are so many reasons that hymen can be broken down. So this is not a reliable indicator of virginity. Okay, yeah. Yes, sir. So if you have any doubt, please ask me in this part, female reproductive system. Both of you, clear? Clear, dear? Yeah, okay, Nandini. See, what you have to remember, the size of ovary, and it is getting attached to the uterus and abdominal wall, pelvic wall. And what is the role of primary sex organ, ovaries in female? Production of ova and production of hormones. What are the major hormones? Ovarian hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And again, what are the components of ovaries? If you take outer, again inner stroma. Okay, and again cortex and medulla are present, and every month this ovary is releasing one ovum. That process is called as ovulation. And again, if you take that, the releasing egg will be captured by fallopian tube. So fallopian tube, at the edge it is having finger-like projections which are called as fimbriae, and the first part of the lower part of the fallopian tube is called as infundibulum, and it is like funnel shaped. Shape is also very much important. Funnel shaped infundibulum, and again it is extended as the broad what is called ampulla, okay, where the fertilization is happening. And again it is extended as isthmus that leads to uterus. Okay, so this fallopian tube, the length is 10 to 12, which is otherwise called as oviduct, and it is lined with ciliated epithelium. What is the role of this ciliated epithelium? Again, movement of egg from, because in this infundibulum region, the egg is getting released from the ovary, and this part is receiving ovum, and from this infundibulum region, it should reach the ampullary region. And again, after fertilization also, it should reach the uterus. So for that, this cilia is helping in the movement of egg to the fertilization zone. That's all about oviduct. Next part is uterus. So uterus, if you take, it is having 3 layers. Outermost protective layer is perimetrium, and again middle is myometrium. So what is the role of this middle layer? Myometrium is involved in vigorous contractions. Because of that, the well matured fetus is getting expelled out. That process is called as parturition, or else delivery of the baby. And innermost layer is called as, and this muscle, what type of muscles are present? Smooth muscles are present. And again, innermost layer is made up of vascular tissue, and again it is getting degenerated and regenerated every month. And the role of this endometrium, again, it is helping for the implantation if the fertilization is occurring. If the fertilization is not there, it is again continue with the menstrual flow, menstrual phase, okay, of menstrual cycle. And again, if you take, there are 3 parts in the uterus. Upper part is called as fundus, middle part body, lower part is called as cervix. Okay, and this cervix, it is having a canal-like structure. So it has 2 openings. One opening opens into uterus, another opening extended as vagina. So together, this cervical canal and vagina forms the birth canal. Okay, and vagina, that is the last part of the female reproductive system. It is again opening into the exterior part. That's all about the uterus and vagina. And if you take external genitalia, again it is having mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, what is clitoris, and what are the glands? Skene's glands and Bartholin's glands are the 2 type of glands which are needed for lubricating during copulation. So again, these are present on the walls of vagina. Okay. So these are the important points you have to remember. And what is clitoris? So clitoris, again, it is similar to that of the penis, and it is the sensitive erectile tissue. It is also having the erectile tissue. Yeah. So next, secondary sex organ in female is mammary gland. So here it is very important to learn about mammary gland. And again, here what question will be asked means, what are the tissues present in the mammary gland? So the breast of female is made up of different types of tissues: fibrous tissue, fat tissue, and glandular tissue. So what are the 3 different tissues? See, glandular tissue alone given. Apart from that, see, fat tissue also given. Apart from that, fibrous tissue is also present. Okay, and it is also known as modified sweat glands. So mammary glands, what is the type of mammary gland? Again, they are the modified sweat glands. They are made up of fat tissue, that is adipose tissue. Again, glandular tissue which secretes milk, and fibrous tissue. Okay, so totally each breast, if you take each breast, it is having 15 to 20 mammary lobes. Okay, so 15 to 20 mammary lobes, each are having so many alveoli, mammary alveoli. So which consists of so many alveolar cells which secrete milk. So what type of structure is responsible for milk production? What type of cells are producing milk in the breast means alveoli. Alveolar cells of the breast is responsible for production of milk. Okay, and again, see here it is stored in the cavities of lumen of alveoli. Again, when the suckling is happening, during that time only milk will be released out. Okay, till then it is stored in the cavities of alveoli. Okay, yeah. See again, the alveoli open into mammary tubules. Question, you might have seen questions. The alveoli is getting opened into, see, these are many alveoli, okay, and it is opening into mammary tubules. So these are mammary tubules, okay, and these tubules, they form the mammary duct. Okay, so mammary tubules of many, so many alveoli will be there. Like this. So altogether they will form mammary duct. Okay, and again several mammary duct like this. So this is one mammary duct which is coming from here, this region. So they will together form the ampullary duct. Okay, so mammary duct forms the ampulla or mammillary ampulla, you can say, or else ampullary duct. And again, many ampullary ducts, they fuse together to form lactiferous duct. So you have to remember the flow of milk, pathway of milk flow. That is first the alveoli, it stores milk. Whenever the contraction is happening, that is ejection. Ejection of milk is induced by which hormone? Milk ejection, tell me.
Oxytocin.
Yeah, very good. Milk is which gland is producing this hormone? Which gland is producing this hormone?
Posterior pituitary.
Yeah, very good. Posterior pituitary. So this hormone is also responsible for the contraction and release of milk, and it is getting released into the mammary tubules first, and then to the mammillary duct and ampullary duct, and at the last this lactiferous duct. Okay, so and what is areola? This is also very important. So if you see, that is a, yeah, so this is nipple, and again around nipple the pigmented region is present, that is called as areola. That's all. See here, sequence of milk conduction from mammary alveoli, it is delivered into the mammary tubule, and that is running through the mammary duct, mammary ampulla or ampullary duct, you can say, at the end lactiferous duct. Okay, so what are the compositions of human milk? So it consists of fat, casein. Casein, what is the nature of casein? It is the protein. It is the protein which is present in the milk. Okay, not only human milk, even cow's milk. And the sugar which is present in, carbohydrate which is present in milk is lactose. And apart from that, so many minerals are present like sodium, calcium, potassium, phosphorus, etc. And apart from that, antibodies are present. Yeah, it is not given. What is colostrum? What is colostrum? First milk. First milk, thick yellow milk which is produced is called as colostrum, and this is rich in antibodies. So all the types of antibodies are present in colostrum, and that is mother's milk. So especially apart from all the antibodies, if you compare the composition of milk, it consists of IgA in large amount. Got it? So composition of milk is also very much important. So all the antibodies are present, but if you compare the quantity, IgA is more. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So here in mammary gland, how the questions will be asked? How the questions will be asked? How many lobes are present? What are the cells responsible for the production of milk? And the alveoli is getting connected to mammary tubules and the flow of milk. What is the composition of milk? What is the sugar present in milk, protein present in milk, and minerals present in milk, especially what is colostrum, and what is the antibody present in the milk? So these are the points you have to concentrate. Okay? Yes, that's all. If you have any doubt, you can get clarified with it. So tomorrow we are going to see gametogenesis and menstrual cycle, both the topics. Okay, shall we wind up then?